Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Hello everyone, Onioncore here. I wanted to talk today about the idea of not all, or actually the idea of all. Because I have noticed over time, and specifically in just a recent amount of time, I watched a few videos and I realized something. That people keep having to say the phrase, not all. As if people don't understand that when you make a generalization, if you talk about statistics, you're not talking about every single one of a certain group. I mean, a statistic or a generalization basically means that it is a large enough part of that group that it is recognizable, that the thing that you are talking about can be noticed. It's very noticeable because a large enough portion of the group you are speaking of does a certain thing or has a certain trait or ascribes to a certain belief. This is what people mean when they say not all. We're not saying every single individual one. We are saying that there is a recognizable trend in this certain group. But over the past few days, I've watched some videos, and I'll give you the clips, the relevant clips here, so you can know where I'm coming from.
Contrary to what you might believe, not every Asian American is spending their days sipping caviar and eating champagne.
I think they're getting at certain people's experiences and trying to get people to recognize that not everyone has the same experience. And, you know, that's what I think unites us is we have to understand our differences, that some people have certain advantages and others don't. And, you know, I know for me, for example, I know we're talking about white privilege, but I have to recognize that I'm a privileged person in a lot of respects. I'm cisgender, I'm straight, I'm male. So I have certain advantages that other people don't have.
Apu was a cartoon character voiced by a white man, Hank Azaria, putting up an exaggerated Indian accent, not a worthy representation for the 3.19 million Indian Americans in the USA. And you can't say, oh, well, now our society is just so politically correct. No, our society has always been assholes.
Like, okay, me being black, they say I'm whitewashed because I'm not the stereotypical black guy. But what is that? What is the stereotypical black guy? You know, we're redefining what roles are, and furthermore, we should never have to redefine what roles are. We should just accept people for how they are and who they are.
Yeah.
If we're both running a race, and I'm running a steeplechase, and you're running, you know, a straight path, it doesn't mean that you're not faster than me. It doesn't mean that you didn't train harder than I did. It just means that you have a clear path, and I have certain obstacles that you don't have.
We all have obstacles.
Absolutely.
All of us have
not
obstacles.
all of our obstacles are the same. And
no, they're not. That's what makes us different, and I think that's what makes us interesting and unique.
Wow. So I'm doing some research here, and according to the data, it looks like Floobles are getting into car accidents at a disproportionate rate.
Whoa. Did you just say that all Floobles are bad drivers?
No. No, I did not. The data said that some of them are, and I'm saying that's a problem that we should be working to solve.
Not all Floobles get into car accidents.
So that was just a few of the clips that I saw over the past few days and over the past of my lifetime of this subject. These people, liberals, progressives, SJWs, whatever you want to call them, they always bring up the fact that, well, not all. And they try to teach you as if you don't know that every single one of a certain group does not exhibit the exact same traits or just does not do the exact same thing. But then they also turn around and they will lump everybody into a group and they will say all.
All white people are racist.
I have a feeling that this is just the way that their brain works. Their brain works in absolutes. They see the world in absolutes. When they see a white person, they see all white people. When they see a black person, they see all black people. When they see Jews, they think all Jews. When they see Christians, they think all Christians. And they have a really hard time with nuance. They have a really hard time understanding that everybody else already understands that not all people are exactly the same. There was this stupid video about privilege that's taken down now from I think Australia, where they were comparing privilege, and the privilege was, oh well, this white 40-some-year-old man, we have to get from here to there, and well, he's got all these privileges, so he gets to teleport there, and this brown a transgendered female in another country, oh well, she's got different things in her life, so it's not so easy for her to get to success on the other side, as if we didn't know that, well, different people from different areas that live different lives are actually different. It's the fact that in their mind, they have to consciously make this happen. When there are people like myself and a good number of other people, that it just automatically happens in our brain. We understand, yes, not all, okay. But then if you talk to somebody, it's like you're talking about women. Okay, well, women have this that happens in their lives. Well, not all the women have it. Well, no shit. No shit. We're talking about a generalization. When you're talking about men, well, there's some men that rape. Well, not all men are rapists. Well, exactly. Not all men are rapists because, we understand that. It's a mechanism in our brains that just happens. And we have to spend all this time laying out, well, not all. Well, I'm not talking about this intersection of this. And I think that's where intersectionality comes from. They're trying to get down to the individual, where the individual does its own thing, but they have to understand that, well, this is the intersection of all these different alls. Well, this man's a black man, but he's also he's a nerd, so he comes from nerd culture, and he's also in a wheelchair, and he's also never done drugs, and he also lives in the suburbs, and he also this and that and that and this, an intersection of these things. So you have to take the stereotype and you have to take the all of all these different things to add up to what this individual is. When you can just say, well, yeah, he's an individual. But then they have to have these intersections to tell you, well, he's different from the white guy because one, this guy's black and that guy's white, and the white guy, he's able-bodied and this guy's crippled. So of course they're gonna have different things happen to them. And well, the white guy, he lives in an urban environment rather than a suburban environment. So of course they're gonna have differences. They really have to work at understanding that not all. And I think that this is the basis for a lot of their misunderstanding of this world. I'm not, by far not an intellectual. I don't even know how to go by doing the research and writing some sort of paper or somewhat on this. So I'll have to rely on maybe some of the bigger, brainier, academic style people to actually delve into this shit. I really haven't heard people talking about this. The fact that these people tend to just their mind goes directly to absolutes. So like in the beginning, only Sith deal in absolutes. Well, maybe in the Star Wars universe, But not in our universe. In our universe, we have, God, maybe it's half the population deal in absolutes. Their brain deals in absolutes. I don't know the way to deal with this problem. I think it's just something you have to understand, that there are people out there that when they see things and when you talk about things in generalizations, they're going to think you're talking about every single one in that generalized group. So, the only thing I can really say is may God bless you and keep you all safe.